Morning, everyone. All right, let's call the order the RTC meeting for June 18th. And let's start with a roll call. Madam Clerk.
Certainly. Let's see. Cole Mortensen. Bob Lucy.
Here.
Von Hartung.
Here.
Ed Lawson.
Here.
Amy Cummings.
Here.
Oscar Delgado could not be here. Adam Spear.
Here.
Neoma Jordan is out, and Bill Thomas is out, for the record. Thank you. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Let's do a Pledge of Allegiance. Cole, will you lead us? All right, let's move on to item 2, public comment. Okay,
And this just came in.
all right.
Come on down.
Hey, I know it's hard to give up the reins. It's okay. No, you're fine. We do have one public comment that was sent via email. And since there's only one, I'm going to read it. Who dreamed up the idea to have construction near Silver Legacy, North Virginia and 5th Street that had traffic blocked for miles during the summer? And there's no name, it's just Washoe County, Nevada. And next up then is Brian McKinney.
Oh, at the dais, we have,
I guess I cut him. Should I?
Okay, yeah, we need a card so we can, for the record. So do you have the cards, Denise?
I don't know what they're doing, but.
Angela, would you get one of the cards, please, and help fill out the
Can one of the staff
card?
members assist them? Or I'll come down and assist them.
Sorry. Okay. Hello, Brian McKinney. A couple things. First on RTC ride, your guys, the buses, they need to have some outside signal if it's under 30 miles per hour, because that's the new law. And another thing I've been noticing on the RTC buses is that the drivers, they're not calling out the stops. They should be, and they're not doing it. And now on RTC access, I understand why you guys are doing the flex ride to make it possible to get more people on certain areas like Stead, North Valleys, Somerset, Verdi, and Tahoe. But the thing is that you're hurting the disabled community because you're taking drivers and buses away from the pool of actual drivers to drive the disabled for the flex ride. Every time you use a new flex ride, you take a driver and an equipment, a van, away from the disabled pool. And when you have, like for example, in the past 5 years, you had 50 drivers. Now you only have 30 drivers. So basically that's a 40% drop in drivers. So before you add any more flex rides, it'd be nice if you guys add some more drivers. So a working disabled person like me does not have to wait 15 minutes at least once a week past the 20-minute window. It's because of the fact you guys are adding more flex rides, taking drivers away from the disabled pool and equipment, and basically you're hurting the disabled community as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. All right, next up, Dora Martinez. And following that will be Kimberly Glass.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Dora Martinez for the record. I wish I could say it's nice to see your faces, and I do mean that, but I can't see. But thank you for having us here. So I am a blind consumer of RTC access and RTC period. And I will concur with what Ryan McKinney said. We have been sort of, first to go and last to consider as people with disabilities. Some of our trips have been really delayed. And when we complain as people with disability, I feel like we get retaliated, because after we had a meeting with our access folks 3 weeks ago, I want to say, our trip has been horrible. Also, I had a lot of things to say, but I just completely forgot. It's hard for my friend who are not ambulatory to come into this building. I was wondering maybe you guys could all invest on putting in automatic buttons on these two doors back here, because my friend cannot get in on her own. So she had to wait for us to come and let her in. One of the most concerning complaint for people with disability who uses RTC Access is sometimes right now, they do not do door-to-door. The drivers does not bring the person who is disabled to their door. They say that they don't do stairs or steps or even, just to open the door. And that's concerning because that's against ADA when you are doing paratransit. And some of the automatic bus stop announcements on the buses are not running, and sometimes they are running, but they're not accurate. I've been let off different or a wrong stop because the announcement was off. And I've been requesting the stop sign that they would have a tactile braille or raised number that's 60 inches off the ground. So most of us who their batteries would die, we cannot use our phone. We would touch the pole and see what route it is in order to make sure that we're on the right bus. And one more and I'll be done. One of the concern with the city station, the Reno station, is that the benches are I guess in the middle of the walkway. So when the RTC ride are letting off the ramp, and my dog travels pretty quick because he goes for my pace, we try to navigate the ramp and the benches, and we hit people because the benches are here and the ramp is between, and we can't go around. So maybe we need to move the benches back against the walls. And one more is that the flex ride at the summit going to Lake Tahoe, I wish it would be at the Meadowood Mall because some of us would like to go and use that service. I guess that's my cue. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Kimberly Glass. Yeah, we do actually. Yeah, the one on the far east side is automatic. So it is? Really?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. My name is Kimberly Glass. I am a wheelchair user and a consumer of RTC Access Paratransit. I've been a consumer for a little over 4.5 years. And the paratransit services are getting really bad for disabled consumers. It gets to a point of it almost being inhumane. I was left more than once, but specifically, I had a pickup window between 10:15 and 10:35, and I wasn't picked up until 1:30, waiting outside. And in the interim of me waiting outside, there was 3 different RTC Access vehicles that had either dropped people off or picked people up. So I think there's a lot to be desired in terms of organization with scheduling and just being considerate that it is a disabled service primarily, and the needs of the consumers. I've offered to consult with RTC Access, and they were receptive in terms of having me speak with some drivers on how they can be mindful. And I appreciate that, but I think that it goes a little bit deeper than that, and just understanding that not every consumer can be on the vehicle for over an hour at a time. They're very bumpy. A lot of us have pain, and I really feel like the understanding of our needs are not being considered. I can appreciate COVID and everything that's come along with that, but these issues have been long before COVID and are just getting worse. So that's what I have to say. Thank you for
Thank
your
you,
time.
Kimberly. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak at this time? Okay, now we're going to close public comment and move on to the approval of agenda. I'm looking for approval of agenda in additions, subtractions.
So moved.
Motion by Hartung, second by Lucy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. All right, on to item 4, consent items. Anyone wishing to pull a consent item? If not, I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
A
Second.
motion by Lucy, second by Hartung. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, item 5, discussion items and presentations. Item 5.1, acknowledgement receipt of a report regarding RTC's construction projects for the calendar year 2021.
Thank you. We have Brian Stewart, our Director of Engineering, who's going to be providing this overview for your information and consideration.
Good morning, Chair Lawson. Good morning, Commission. For the record, Brian Stewart, Director of Engineering. I assume the slides will go the same way with the PDF. Okay, thank you. As requested by this commission, I plan to give a brief overview of the construction projects you will be seeing this season. So this calendar year. I'll provide the general scope, cost, and schedule for each of the projects shown there on the regional map. Kings Row, part of this is a project that's part of the pavement preservation program. It is a rehab of this important collector street in Reno. The project will provide new road section and improve the cross slopes, grades, ADA ramps from Keystone to Wyoming. The project recently received construction bids, and Sierra Nevada Construction was the lowest bidder at approximately $3.75 million. The project will start this month and be completed in November. Golden Valley Road, another project falling into the pavement preservation program. The project will reconstruct the failing road bed structural system and also add sidewalks. The project limits are from Yorkshire Drive to North Virginia Street. After providing the lowest bid at $774,000, West Coast Paving has started construction. The project will be completed in September of this year. Lemon Drive Segment 1, an important capacity project to this region is Lemon Drive and the interchange. The project provides additional lanes from Military to US 395 and also includes interchange improvements through the installation of a diverging diamond interchange, or you'll hear DDI. Bids for this project were received, and Q&D Construction provided the lowest bid at approximately $17.6 million. This will be a 2-season project with work beginning in July and extending through October of '22. The bus stops, ADA, and pedestrian connectivity project, Spanish Springs Construction was the lowest bidder for this project at $1.37 million. The project will improve 30 stops throughout the region, ensuring improved safety and connections to other pedestrian facilities. Construction will begin in June and can continue through November of this year. Audie Wells, as a premier multimodal project starting this summer, Audie Wells will improve the safety in the corridor between Pyramid Highway and Interstate 80. The project was recently awarded to Granite Construction Company, providing the lowest bid of $44.1 million. The project will provide pedestrian and bicycle facilities through the installation of a multi-use path, cycle tracks, and sidewalks. The roadbed will receive a much-needed rehab as well. The project was recently awarded to Granite Construction, and it will be a phased project in 4 distinct phases. The project is starting from the east side, Pyramid Highway, and working towards the west. The first phase is Pyramid to Sullivan, and then the 4th phase would be Sutro to I-80. The Mill Street, lack of sidewalks in the Mill Street corridor led to the Mill Street multimodal project. The project extends from Terminal Way to McCarran and improves safety in the corridor. The project is estimated to be $4.6 million in construction cost. We're still determining when to get that out. What we call TE Spot fuel tax. A new traffic signal will be constructed at Veterans Parkway and Long Meadows Drive. The project will also include rapid flashing beacons at 7 locations where crosswalk safety improvements are needed. The locations are Western Skies Drive near Brown Elementary School, Steamboat Parkway at Horse Ranch Road, Mayberry Drive at Keel Drive, 7th at McDonald, Sadler Way at Valley Road, Vista at DeMonte, Sparks Boulevard at Ion Drive, and Golden Valley Road at Estates. The project has been awarded to Par Electric Company as the contractor that provided the lowest bid. Some of the long procurement times will delay some of the construction, and the steel and poles is really what we're running into with cost and just delay of manufacturing. But we are phasing this project and putting a priority on the rapid flashing beacons, particularly in the school zones, to get those up and running before the school year. TE Spot North. This is a traffic signal improvements and are underway at El Rancho and Victorian. The project was awarded to Sierra Nevada Construction for $772,000. It will be completed at the end of August. Our ITS project is new conduit and fiber optic road weather detection system and grid smart detection cameras will be installed at various locations throughout our region. Titan Electric Company was provided the lowest bid at $800,000, and this project is underway now. It is planned to be completed in November. North Valley's Package 3, we call it. It's part of our capacity improvements. A right turn pocket, drainage improvements, sidewalks will be constructed at the intersection of North Virginia Street and Business 395. An update to this slide, we've slid the bid just 1 month, so it will be advertised next month. The engineer's estimate is $900,000, and we're hoping at the end of July that we would be getting underway on that project. As part of our payment preservation program, Newport Lane from Link Lane to McDonald Street will receive subgrade repairs and reconstruction of the road section. There is also sidewalk improvements planned. This slide also must be updated since we opened bids on Wednesday. Sierra Nevada Construction provided the lowest bid at $1.29 million. Work will start in a few weeks. Sparks Consolidated 2101 is a pavement preservation project that includes reconstruction of the road section at Wild Island Court and Packer Way in Sparks. The project was awarded to Granite Construction Company, $1.38 million, and it is scheduled to be completed later this month, so it got underway quickly. Reno Consolidated 2101. This is road subgrade reconstruction as well as new services as part of the pavement preservation program. It includes portions of Lund Lane, Armstrong Lane, and Yuma Lane. The project was awarded to Sierra Nevada Construction, supplying the low bid at $1.54 million. The project is under construction now and be completed here at the end of this month. Reno Consolidated 2101 includes improvements to Mayberry, California, and First Streets. This is a pavement preservation project. The project includes intersection improvements, sidewalks, new road section, and drainage, and is estimated to cost $4.5 million. To ensure completion of the project in one construction season, we will advertise this project in October and allow the contractors to get busy in the spring. This is estimated to be $4.5 million. It will be completed in the fall of '22. And then our regular pavement maintenance program, our slurry seal, some people will call that, but this year is over 150 lane miles will be resurfaced. This project is underway. It includes patching and crack sealing, was awarded to Sierra Nevada Construction Company, providing the lowest bid at 5.7, and the construction work has started. This will be a major year for RTC with approximately $85 million in construction contracts being awarded this calendar year. Thanks to this commission, the RTC dedicated staff, and our regional partners will have a busy construction season. Thank you. Any questions?
Questions from the commissioners?
Mr. Chairman. Brian, I didn't see Pyramid Highway, so we're not gonna start the I'll call it the south end, Pyramid and McCarran, the upgrades to essentially Golden View this year?
Thank you for the question, Commissioner. We are not. That is starting in '22. '23, we will actually be doing it. NDOT's taking the lead on that. It's under design right now, or actually in right-of-way acquisitions right now, so we're doing the due diligence with our partner NDOT to ensure we have the adequate right-of-way to build that from Queenway up to Los Otos,
Okay,
and then beyond with multimodal improvements.
okay. Have you driven Pyramid Highway recently?
Yes, I have. And
Any-
Sparks Boulevard.
Any time of the day?
It's, yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, the whole of the Pyramid Highway is just crazy right now. It's just, and I don't want to say right now, it's going to continue to get crazier. So anything that we can do to move that along would be greatly appreciated by not only me, but virtually every citizen that lives out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just to follow up on that, is there a time limit on us to spend that federal money?
There is, and we've scheduled the project to actually match that, and so there is no threat with respect to that. But it will be spent and applied appropriately on that important project.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from the commission? All right, thank you. Let's move on to 5.2. I'll let you read it, Amy.
Thank you. This is to acknowledge receipt of a presentation regarding RTC's traffic signal timing program. And we have Andrew Jankora, our project manager, for this item.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, good morning, members of the board. My name is Andrew Jankura, project manager for the traffic signal timing program here in the Truckee Meadows. And today I want to give you guys a quick summary and overview of the program itself. It's not working. Okay, is it working now? Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you a quick overview of the facts and the history of the program, then go into the program itself. Then why do we do traffic synchronization, the signal timing process, the achievements that we've gotten, the impacts from synchronization, the benefits from it, and then the public and agency feedback and the hotline. Okay. So there's about 410 traffic signals in the region, and federal guidelines states that traffic signals should be retimed on a 3 to 5 year basis. And here in the region, we're doing them on a 3-year basis. So the program started back in 2005, and for the first 9 years, we engaged with consultants to do the signal timing work. But then in 2014, we decided to bring it in-house and then hire UNR to do the signal timing program with us because it's more cost efficient and time efficient. And since then, the program has been successful. We got lower costs to time the signal per capita. Students benefit from the program. Students and staff are local, so we can respond to any issues more effectively and quickly. Students and staff knowledge of the signal program itself continues to grow. And I believe that no other agencies can match the effort and skill level that we have put into the program. So why do we do traffic synchronization? Well, for obviously reasons, fuel costs. Less people idling, decelerating, or acceleration will burn less fuel. And because of that, air pollution is reduced. And lastly, safety. If drivers can get from point A to point B faster, they're less likely to be frustrated, less likely to take risks, which overall increases traffic safety. So how's the timing develop? Well, the concept is pretty simple. You have an intersection with 4 different movements, east, west, north, and south. So you give the amount of time to get all the cars through. And then with the sum of all those timing of each of these movements, it comes up with a cycle. So you repeat this two process for all the intersections within the corridor that you want to retime. Then you line up the greens. And then you line up the greens to create the so-called green wave to get the cars to the corridors that you guys have retimed. Okay? So here's a quick diagram of Sparks Boulevard. So on the left is before optimization, and this is between eastbound I-80 and this drive. The blue band represents northbound, the green band represents southbound. You can see on before optimization, the band is not complete. But after optimization, that's what we're looking for, a full complete band between the north and the south direction on Sparks Boulevard. So here's a quick video sample of how progression is. This is Pyramid Highway between this drive and Los Altos Parkway. So obviously when you get a green light, you want to get the green light at the next intersection. So you can see here, northbound on Pyramid, leaving this, should get the green at Los Altos. Likewise on southbound, cars leaving Los Altos Boulevard should get the green at Disc, and they are. So see, they're just moving through. No stop, so that's good. Once the car is cleared out, then the westbound at Disc Drive should be able to go, and there they go. Okay. So some of the major achievements that we, what's that?
That's about the right speed.
Right? Yeah. So some of the major achievements that we got with the program is we updated all the pedestrian crossing times to meet federal standards. So that includes the walk and don't walk flashing times. And then we also updated the vehicle clearance timing, which includes the yellow and the all red. And we, approximately 250 traffic signals, now have new synchronized coordination plans. You can see that that's a picture of Virginia Street at looking south from 8th to the Arch, and it's all green lights in the evening. Okay. So here's a quick sample video, before and after video of South Meadows Parkway. So the driver is coming out from the off-ramp of 580, going east towards Double R. You can see it's just green lights going all the way through. But on the left side before, the car is just stopped. Major difference. So in the after, sorry, no worries. So at the end of that video, it tells you that there's about only a minute. It takes you only a little after a minute to get through South Meadows Parkway, but before it took over 4 minutes for a driver. So that's a major difference right there. So play that video one last time and it'll show you the difference. Okay, moving on. So what are the impacts from traffic synchronization? Well, with synchronization, we put more emphasis on the main line. So we put more time on the main line to get more of the cars through, but that causes more delay on the minor streets. Then with the new pedestrian crossing times, the timing that we've noticed has gotten longer. So every time someone is crossing the road, the drivers on the side street or the main line has to wait a little bit longer. And then since like the first couple rounds of signal timing, we've gotten about up to maybe 30% of improvement. But here and after, you can only get about 2 to 5% improvement every time we time the corridor again. But signal timing must be retimed. Signal timing, like anything, degrades over time because changes in traffic volume, traffic patterns. So we must go in and optimize it to the traffic pattern that we are experiencing now. Okay? So here's some cost savings. So here's a case study for Vista Boulevard during the AM and the PM peak hours. So we saved about $1.9 million in overall cost savings per year. And then on Rock Boulevard, next one, the AM PM, about $900,000 in overall cost savings per year. And this doesn't include the midday timing between the AM and the PM. We did optimize that too, so we would expect the cost savings to be a little bit more than what is stated on the presentation. Okay? So how are we doing compared to other local agencies? Well, Orange County, for example, allocates about $5 million of their signal timing budget each year. We're spending about $335,000 per year. And on average, per each corridor that we retime, drivers are experiencing about 4.3 greens for every red light on our corridors. Orange County is only getting about 1.7 greens for every red light. And only that, the cost savings, we are spending 2.5 times less than they are per capita. So what about some feedback? Well, we have a hotline, and over the years, we've noticed a decline in complaints and calls we got on our hotline. We've got positive feedback from local agencies and partners that we've worked with, and we got positive feedback from social media. This was actually posted on Facebook, Reno's Cars and Coffee Facebook page, and it actually got over 1,000 shares and 500 likes. And then Professor Tien at the University of Nevada has played a significant role in the program's success, so he's here to share some of the insights of the program.
This is not working, right?
It's not working, just.
Okay, right. Thank you, Andrew. Again, I'm Song Tian. I'm from UNR. I started at UNR 2004 is to establish the program, transportation program from scratch. So the program has been around for about 17 years. Okay. I just want to say a few words to emphasize again this collaboration with RTC and how, particularly this signal retiming project, how it has affected our program and particularly our students. You know, having been involved with national and international committees, I do know the state of the practice. So what we are doing here is quite unique. Andrew showed you those green band and part of the video. In fact, that's the software developed, started at UNR. Now there are over 30 agencies in 10 different states are adopting this tool. So that's why I'm saying this is quite unique what we are doing here. And for our students, okay, you probably will not find any other school that can produce students like ours with such a hands-on experience. So like engineers like Andrew is really rare to find in the nation. So he just needs to go out to appear more in national conferences to present his work. So I would put him probably on the top 1% among the traffic signal engineers. Even our students right out of school, I would say they are probably already on the top 5% in the signal timing, in the skills. So next, I want to share a short video clip from Logan Williams. Logan graduated in December last year. Now he's working with the city of Cedar Parks in Texas. And that position, you know, when they were looking for somebody, that position requires a PE license with minimum 3 years of experience. So they hired Logan right out of school just because his knowledge and skills. So they interviewed him 3 times. Finally, they offered him a job. Now he is overseeing the signal system in the city. And next, you can play the video.
Hello, my name
Hopefully
is
you can
Logan
hear.
Williams. I'm the Senior Traffic Engineering Associate for the City of Cedar Park, Texas. I got my bachelor's in mechanical engineering and my master's in civil engineering from UNR. The practical applications of the knowledge that I was learning, as well as the experiences that I got through the corridor retiming projects, really eased the transition between my 2 fields of study. Dr. Tien and Andrew J. Nkura always supported learning new experiences and skills in the field, and that real-world experience really gave me a leg up after college and helped me find this awesome job. Thank you, RTC, for helping me find my passion.
That's it. Thank you.
All right, well, lastly, we have a hotline, so if there's any issues or any signal complaints you've gotten or any detection issues, please give us a call at the hotline, and our dedicated team and staff and students will resolve the issue as soon as possible. And with that, that concludes our presentation. Please feel free to ask any questions that you may have.
Question from the commission?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Andrew, I have a question on McCarran as a whole, but specifically going through Sparks, North McCarran, so I guess we would define it as East McCarran, through North McCarran heading into Reno. Is that section of roadway on the schedule?
To be retimed. So we just retimed it. One of the issues is there's an intersection that needs to be fixed, which is McCarran and Sullivan. What's happening is I don't want to get into too much details, but the system's not connected through a fiber network, so the clock is drifting. When the clock drifts, it's not coordinated and becomes unsynchronized.
Yeah.
So that's why it causes interruption into the progression. So once a month, I usually go out there and reset the clock, but then after a week later, it's all messed up again. So I believe that's something that I think the school that's going up there, I think it was the new Arrow Creek School, that's supposed to be fixing it. So
Yes,
hopefully
yes.
it can fix that soon. That way it would be better. But outside of Sullivan, it should be fine.
Yeah, Sullivan's gonna have to be completely reconfigured. The
Right.
geometry of that intersection will have to be completely redone, so.
Yeah.
And that actually is the one, I mean, I almost always get stopped at Sullivan.
Yes, and you know, when we first retimed that corridor a couple months ago, it was fine. And then now it's all messed up again. So maybe I'll go set the clock today and then see if you can see any improvements. But then again, the traffic, they closed down Sullivan. So it kind of threw off traffic there.
Mhm.
So it's gonna throw things off just a little bit. But
Okay.
once that thing opens up, it should be fine again.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
just an FY too, since you brought up Pyramid. So in the evening, it's pretty good flowing, but there's a lot of cars, right? It's pretty much like a freeway. So the cycle length there is running 200-second cycle, and I believe that is the highest in the state, which is why it's, you know, getting the widening on Pyramid is very paramount. So,
Yeah, I mean, I was a little disappointed that we didn't take the third lane when we were doing Pyramid McCarran, at least to Disc Drive, because that's where the backup is. Allowing that cross-traffic to
Yeah.
occur at Disc Drive backs it up all the way down the hill.
if there's like 2 minutes of green light for every cycle to flush that out, and
Wow.
it's tough, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's not much we can do more on Pyramid in terms of signal timing, but we'll do our best to make it as best we can.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the commission? Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item 6, Executive Director Report.
Thank you. I have a few items to share with the board and the public today. I would like to let you know that we're introducing a new mission statement for RTC. Our Executive Director, Bill Thomas, in coordination with staff, has developed this. And the new mission statement is to building a better community through quality transportation. And we'll be incorporating this into our materials moving forward. I also want to let you know that the RTC Finance Department recently received the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement of Excellence in Financial Reporting for fiscal year 20. So I want to congratulate and thank Stephanie Haddock, our Finance Director, and the entire staff, all of the staff in the Finance Department for their continued devotion to excellence. I would like to let you know that the Federal Transit Administration and FTA's Region 9, that we express our appreciation to them for working with us to keep a portion of our cost savings from our 4th Street Prater Way and Virginia Streets projects, which we finished under budget. These are funds that normally could be swept back and go into the nationwide pool for funding anywhere in the country. So they're going to work with us to reapportion some of those funds for other improvements directly related to the BRT on Virginia and 4th Prater. So we appreciate them in Region 9 as well as our congressional delegation for supporting us in that effort. We want to let you know that, and thank everyone who participated in the RTC Commuter Challenge in the month of May. We had 12 folks who participated in that, so they were logging their transit and walking and biking trips to work, and collectively saved over 1,200 miles of vehicle miles traveled, 74 gallons of fuel, and about 1,400 pounds of pollutants. So the RTC folks participating were Dan Dungetts, Jim Gee, Sarah Going, Rebecca Capular, Mark Maloney, Scott Nicholas, Jennifer Myers, Leanne Olivas, Ed Park, Susie Trinidad, and Shen Wang. So thank you, all of you who participated in that to improve our community. I wanted to also let you know that we have the now printed versions of the 2050 Regional Transportation Plan. We're going to be getting the full set of those next week, so we'll be making sure they're available to staff at the jurisdictions and our advisory committees, and they'll be available to the public upon request as well. It's, of course, also on our website, so if anyone wants to look at it right away, you can download it anytime. We are very happy and want to share our joy as in joining with our Public Information Officer, Lauren Ball, who welcomed baby Leo Benjamin Ball last week, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. So mom is doing great, and we're so happy for her and welcoming him to the RTC family. And Michael Moreno is going to be taking on the day-to-day Public Information Officer activities while she's spending this critical time with her newborn. And finally, we want to join with the entire community and in the nation of the celebration of Juneteenth. It's an opportunity for us to celebrate the diversity of our community and embrace our commitment to inclusion and equity and empowerment for a stronger community. So we look forward to continuing to work with all of our partners and members of the community and the public moving forward. So that concludes my director report.
All right. Item 6.2, the federal report.
Thank you. This is written in your packet. The one highlight I did want to bring your attention to is that we appreciate our congressional delegation and their support for funding requests in the new reauthorization bill. The FAST Act is going to expire this year, so there's efforts underway to renew that. And the funding that we have requested is $6 million for the Arlington Bridges replacement and about $5 million for our hydrogen fuel cell bus demonstration project. So we appreciate Congressman Amodei for putting that in his list of projects he recommends moving forward in that bill, as well as Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, who's going to be working with us on that as well on the Senate side. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, move on to item 6.3. Cole, NDOT report.
All right. Good morning. For the record, I'm Cole Mortensen, Deputy Director for the Department of Transportation. I have just a few slides, but we've got a lot of information to cover within them. With the state open and summer upon us, we anticipate seeing more people on the roads. Memorial Day to Labor Day weekend is what's called the 100 Deadliest Days on Nevada roadways. The data we're seeing so far this year is a statewide increase from 2020, which unfortunately was an increase from 2019. Specifically, we're seeing a 30% increase in statewide traffic fatalities since May of 2020. In Washoe County, that figure has actually decreased about 6%. In Northern Nevada, motorcyclist fatalities are down from 5 in May of 2020 to 3 in May of 2021. We saw no increases in bicyclist or pedestrian fatalities from the same time last year. We did experience increases in unrestrained motorist and occupant fatalities. However, since June 1st and over Memorial Day weekend, numerous lives were taken from us prematurely across the state, reminding us of the urgent need to eliminate these preventable deaths. In May, as you yet see again, the primary cause of traffic fatalities in Nevada were speeding and impairment. We'd like to share the details of a speed-related crash, fatal crash that occurred on June 3rd in South Reno. In the very early morning hours of that Thursday, emergency personnel responded to a single-car rollover crash in the Burger King parking lot on South Virginia Street. Officials say the female driver was speeding northbound on I-580 when she lost control of her vehicle. The vehicle appeared to have flipped, ejected the driver, then pinned her underneath. Reno Fire was able to extricate the driver, and she was taken by ambulance to Reno Regional Medical Center, where she later was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. As we enter the busy summer travel season, this tragic speed-related crash is a reminder to us all that speed can kill. Additionally, with the upcoming 4th of July weekend, we urge all travelers to never drive impaired. We'd like to give you a status update on the safety study that NDOT completed, which has resulted in increased safety measures in the area around Wooster High School. The Wooster High School Zone Evaluation Report finished earlier this year has led to the following improvements. First, we appreciate the Washoe RTC for moving the bus stop from the west side of Harvard Way to the east side and changing directions of the bus route. The city of Reno has changed the signal timing at Villanova and Matley intersection to rest on red to better control traffic entering the area from the interstate. The city of Reno has changed the signal timing at Plum and Harvard intersection, giving additional lead time for crossing pedestrians before vehicles are given green signal. This provides increased visibility and safety for crossing pedestrians. There will be a school traffic safety campaign set up for the end of summer for the new school year, and it'll be part of a larger statewide campaign, but it'll be more detailed in the Wooster area. It will be set up from the beginning of the new school year to bring drivers and students and parents back to thinking about safety in the school zones. Per Nevada revised statute, an area must not be designated as a school zone if imposing a lower speed limit would be unsafe because of higher speed limits in the adjoining areas. Based on our evaluation, a school zone would not be recommended on Plum Lane, as the 15-mile-an-hour school zone speed limit would negatively impact operations on Plum Lane. We'd also like to recognize the RTC for the continued vital pedestrian safety efforts as part of Vision Zero, Truckee Meadows Task Force, and the board's collaborative efforts to improve safety for pedestrians across the region. Now an update for the Spaghetti Bowl Express. The big squeeze continues, and drivers can expect lane and merge changes that went into effect earlier this spring to last into the near future. We're on a steady path of bridge construction, which obviously takes time, and we're excited about the progress that crews are making. The traffic configurations we mentioned last month remain largely the same. Remind those traveling through the area that travel delays should be expected. Drivers are encouraged to consider alternate routes, allow for extra time, slow down, and be attentive for new merge and lane patterns. This traffic control configuration allows for the west side of I-580 improvements to be completed, including the interchanges at Mill and Second Street. Work will continue on the ramp to ramp up and progress between southbound and northbound lanes through this year. Crews are progressing on bridge demolition work at the Truckee River Bridge and work to build the Vassar Street, Mill Street, Second Street, and eastbound I-80 to northbound US 395 bridges. The demolition of bridges crossing over the UPR 4th Street is anticipated to take place in late June as well. We anticipate there will be some short-term closures of 4th Street to accommodate that work. The southbound exit ramps at Mill and Second Street will be configured for temporary traffic control. The southbound entrance ramp from Second Street will be located on a temporary detour and enter I-580 along with the Mill Street traffic entrance ramp. Work will continue on the neighborhood walls and utilities as the project moves along. Ames and Q&D continue to coordinate biweekly with area's first responders and following the project's transportation management plan. This month, we remind the board and travelers, as we did on the safety slide, the summer is in season in Truckee Meadows, and we anticipate more traffic, and we remind everyone to drive safely. Events are happening, like the Reno Rodeo. Traffic counts are expected to be up, and many people are marking the end of the pandemic with travel. We do ask the public to observe the Spaghetti Bowl Express updates as summer activities pick up. Last, as our state enters the light at the end of the tunnel, we remind the public that our offices have opened to the public and other partners, although we continue to provide services online and by phone. We encourage the use of all digital services such as emails, video calls, and virtual meetings to help meet the needs of our transportation program while reducing costs and travel time. We do want to take a moment to express our deep gratitude for our entire NDOT team, particularly our maintenance crews and our construction crews for their tireless effort to make our roadways more safe and connected. In addition to working through the pandemic, furloughs, while necessary to respond to budgetary issues, resulted in a loss of work and cuts in pay that have had a significant impact on not just our program, but our people. Our crews, many of which were short-staffed before the pandemic, rose to the occasion, working to cover shifts for one another these last few months, which has sometimes required them to work longer hours or hire temporary employees. Our crews pride themselves on responding quickly to incidents and removing debris from the road, and the combination of COVID-related absences and furloughs sometimes have made that work challenging. Despite all this, our team got it done, and we appreciate all that they've done in their service for the state of Nevada. And that concludes the director's report for NDOT.
Thank you. Okay. I never know if it's on or not. All right, item 7. What?
May I ask?
No discussion from you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I wanted to thank Mr. Mortensen for the assistance of cleaning up some of the areas along Rock Boulevard and et cetera, for getting us some help with that. I know it was a challenge, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to come up with some solutions to clean up more areas throughout the region.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to continuing with that partnership, so
Yeah,
thank you.
no, thank you. Thank you so much for taking care of that and quickly moving on that goal. It's great. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. All right, any other comments? All right, moving on to item 7, Commissioner announcements and updates. Do we have any announcements or updates from the commission? Okay, seeing none. Move on to public comment, item 8. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We have no more public comment.
Okay, anyone in the audience wishing to speak at this time? Come on down, Dora.
Dora Martinez for the record. I just want to say thank you to the NDOT guy. Sorry, I forgot your name. He was able, or the staff, I moved to a recent place and we needed the accessible pedestrian signals. And within a month, they put them on there at McCarran and 7th. And they also went ahead and put on a tactile crosswalk. It's kind of raised and it's rubberized. So I'm walking, but I am able to feel that my dog, my service dog, is in the middle of the crosswalk and not going off. So thank you so much. And also, I know I complained a lot about and concerned about RTC access, and I just want to let you all know that there are good drivers, you know, Roxanne, Kathy, and Andrew, who drives very well, and they care about our well-being. And I just want to say thank you so much, and please put the accessible buttons on the door so we can come in freely. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we're gonna move on to item 9, adjournment. We are adjourned.